Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this lecture, I am going to explain you how Spring Security maintaining multiple requests without entering credentials. So whenever you are login first time, so after that once you logged in successfully first time, so second time if you try same URL, so Spring Security will prompt you landing page, right, home page. So it will not ask you credentials until unless you log out. So how the Spring Security is maintaining authentication details for multiple requests without entering username and password. So let me log in very first time. Okay, Sachin and password Sachin at 123. Click on sign in button. Access to local host was denied. Why? So our home page is unable to access because access to local host was denied. 403 forbidden. So why? Let's see, let's check now. So what is our URL? User controller. And here this is our registration page. The moment we enter localhost colon 8080, and this registration page should come, right? So this is not at all need, I have not given URL for that, right? So here slash is nothing but by default whenever you are access localhost colon 8080, then by default this page will be displayed. So now what we have tried, so localhost colon same URL we have tried. So let me try again here. Click enter. So authentication is success, but we are unable to access registration page. Why? Because in previous class we have not enabled slash c, only we are enabling test API 1, test API 2. So these two APIs will be authenticated. Test API 3, without authentication we can access test API 3, and test API 4 you cannot access. You can authenticate but you cannot access the landing same. So now sorry, so now since our registration page is having default configuration, right, default URI, so slash, so it doesn't have any URI. So we have to enable this URI. So how we can enable this slash? Go to your custom security configuration and add. So now slash comma within the string slash star star. So what does the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? So the URLs which are followed by slash must authenticate. That is the meaning of that. So here we are using request matcher along with authenticated. So inside this URL, so slash star star I have given. So any URL which is followed by slash must be authenticated, so it will not access directly. So now these two no use actually now until since I have given slash star star, so these two are no need to give. So because I am giving everything should be authenticated except these two. So now let's try now. Just I'm refreshing the browser. So we are successfully logged in, right? We have successfully logged in. After logged in, I am unable to access the URL landing page, right? So now let me refresh. See, it will not ask you credentials. Let's check. See, it is not asking credentials for us. Change your password. I don't want to change. So here, uh, without adding credentials, without entering credentials, we are able to see the user registration phase. Let me try again. I will open another window and click on enter same API. So see, same URL. So it is not asking credentials. As many number of browsers if you open, it won't ask you credentials, because very first time when we logged into our web application, our credentials are stored in security context. So how Spring Security is maintaining our credentials? So let's debug now. So we have a developer console, right? Function F12. Function F12. Press function F12 and you can see developer console. Inside the developer console, you can see there is a application tab. So you have elements, console, source, network. So you have to find application tab. So inside this application tab, we have application level, properties, storage. So you can see these are all the three storage. Inside the storage, we have a cookies. You can see there is a field called cookie. So here you can select your URI. So here you can see there is a J session ID is created. So the moment uh, successfully authenticated, Spring Security will provide will generate one cookie. That cookie name called JSON ID. This cookie will be sent as a response to the browser. This cookie will be sent from Spring Security. This JSON ID cookie will be sent by Spring Security to the browser for the future transactions, nothing but future request. So if you try with your application same URL again and again, it will not ask you password to enter, it will not ask you credentials to enter. So since Spring Security is maintaining cookie, so based on this cookie only, JSession ID, Spring Security is maintaining authentication for future request. If you send multiple 100 requests also, Spring Security will maintain your credentials in security context, and it will store those credentials as a cookie, and it will generate a JSession ID, and it will send it back to your browser. So when you try again, let's see, if you refresh the browser along with the request, when as many number of time, if you refresh, see, if you see browser is blinking, I am refreshing the browser as many number of time, if you refresh the browser along with your request, every time this JSession ID will go to the your server, your application. So Spring Security will check this token, this JSession ID, it will validate. If it is validate successfully, then it will not ask you credentials. So testing purpose, what I will do, I will just change this JSession ID. Let me remove JSON ID 9. At the end I am just typing 8. Anything wherever you can modify, I am just modifying the JSession ID. Just click enter. So after that, now we'll see how Spring Security is intelligent. See, you can see now I am going to, I have modified the JSession ID. Now if you refresh the browser, see, it is not allowing us to authenticate because it is already we have modified the JSession ID. So Spring Security is validate this JSession ID. So after that, it is verifies it is a invalid. So it is sending response back. You must log in again. Please sign in. So this is how Spring Security by default. Uh, by default, it will allow multiple requests without entering username and password. So this is the cookie is being used for future transactions or multiple requests. CJ session ID. So if you modify, it will not allow you to access. So this is how Spring Security is maintaining JSession ID, and this JSession ID is name called cookie. You can call it as a cookies. So cookies, browser can store a cookie. So Spring Security will send a cookie to the browser to authenticate for multiple requests. It's very simple, guys. So in next lecture, I will explain you uh, how we can hack this Spring Security. Is there any way to hack this Spring Security? So let's assume if you take this URL token and open into another browser and try modifying this same JSession ID and try, you can log in or not, so that you can try to debug yourself. So how, whether Spring Security is allowing this token in another browser or not, so you have to cross verify. Okay, I will show you in next lecture. Thank you, guys.